Hi, everyone. We have an amazing, exciting announcement today. We are putting together a new project of sorts. Coming up, we're going to be doing something that we're calling Ask Us Anything episodes. And you may be wondering, this seems pretty straightforward, but Finn and I are super excited about this, and we have a special guest with us too. These will be episodes where we're getting questions from all of you and answering them on the podcast.
Yeah, we are, as Emma said, super excited. We haven't talked to you on a Friday in quite a while.
No, we have not.
And maybe before we dig in too much further, let's say hi to our favorite special guest, Michelle. Michelle is here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. We are excited to bring Michelle into this as well. So for anybody who's been listening to the show for a while, you know Emma has been in grad school for a little while, and yet we want to keep doing more and more. So we are bringing in some help to, first of all, help spread out the work here, but also to bring more voices to our platform. And our hope is to do that by answering questions from all of you, the listeners. We're going to go for every fourth Friday of every month. We're going to put out a Q&A or an Ask Us Anything episode where you can submit questions to us via voicemail. And we'll tell you how to do that in a minute. And then Michelle and I are going to answer these questions and talk about them.
Yes. So it will be one episode a month, as Finn said, published every fourth Friday.
So with that, we're going to dig in a little bit. You know a little bit about who Emma and I are. We'll give you some more background on us, but we wanted to give Michelle an opportunity to introduce herself and where she's coming from and what her experience is. And also, after she's done and we're done, you can go check out episode 233 to hear her full story of non-monogamy and all of the juicy details. So
juicy details.
It was that was some juicy time, right? So Michelle, please tell us a little bit please tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and what you sort of bring to the table that's a little bit different than what Emma and I bring to the table.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Michelle. Hello. I am trained as a therapist. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I have certifications in sex therapy and trauma therapy. And those certifications are kind of the things that I picked up and decided to place into what I do now, which is coaching, particularly with Expansive Connection. We have some amazing coaches over there. So if you get a chance, you want to check out some coaching things that might add some spice and direction and grounding into your life. They are amazing. I think, I'm also amazing, but I can't take all the credit. They do some cool things over there. And so I have been a therapist for a couple of years now. I'm a woman of color. I'm also bisexual. And I've been ethically non-monogamous since 2019 and have been with the coaching practice for about as long. I've learned some really great things and some very, very hard things. And so I'm kind of walking my own journey along with everyone else. And that's kind of what we bring to it. So, yeah.
I love that. When you said you've learned some hard things, is that in your journey of exploring non-monogamy yourself?
Yes. Yeah. So when I'm talking with you, I have also lived the things that I'm also talking about. So it's not just head knowledge, it's also heart knowledge.
Yep. Can relate to that.
Yes.
Has your non-monogamous journey mostly been swinging or polyamorous or sort of a blend of the two, or maybe you've kind of redefined it in your own way?
So I kind of think of it on a continuum, but I think that way because of the way that I've walked through it. So I started out being poly, moved towards being more lifestyle / swingerish, whatever you want to call it, and have gone back to poly. And so I'm just you know what? It just kind of is defined by whatever relationship or space I'm in at the time. And those words are just a great way to communicate to you where I'm at. But I'm on the continuum of ethical non-monogamy.
Yep, totally. Yeah.
And that's great to show that it doesn't have to stay the same all the time.
Yeah.
I love that too, that the labels are really kind of a starting point for a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're super excited to have you joining for these. I was going to share a little bit about my background, just in case somebody here is brand new, just found us, or maybe they don't know a whole lot about me. So you can understand who the other half of this dynamic duo that will be answering your questions will be. So
Can I start?
you can start. Wait, you're introducing me or are you introducing you?
Introducing us for a minute.
All right.
I want to talk about the us part for a second, and then I want you to talk about yourself. But I just want to chime in because if anyone's a new listener or you haven't gone back and listened to episode 1, that was also recorded back in 2018. So there's been a lot of changes, but I just wanted to do a quick high level overview of Finn and I have been together since 2005. We've been open in some sort of fashion since 2007. So that's been a long time. For most of that time, it was swinging or more friends with benefits dynamic. And then about 3 years ago, we've been in a long distance poly quad and navigating that. So we have our own experience in non-monogamy, and I wanted to chime in and share that. And now I'll give it back to you to talk about yourself.
Yeah, no, I think what is really, to me, what I wanted to point out about that is sort of our journey over the last 16 years has covered a lot of different dynamics, and we've had a lot of different experiences. Even though, so my background, my official schooling, I have a degree in electrical engineering. We did not learn a whole lot about relationships or how to navigate them, particularly polyamory within the world of electrical engineering. But we've lived this life for 16 years together. We've done, the swinging. We've done friends with benefits. We've had really intense, deep, committed partnerships, long distance relationships. We've done so many things. And on top of that, we've talked to over 500 people over the last 5 years discussing how they've done relationships. And yeah, if you go back to episode 1 and you were to listen all the way through to 300, we say a lot different things today than we used to say in the early days. So we've learned a lot.
And that's what I was going to say too. It's not just like our life and our relationship. It's the people we've interacted with and what we've learned from talking to everyone along the way as well. I mean, and also like it's our own ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. It's like we're living this life too.
Yeah. And we have a community of almost 300 people, a virtual community, which you've probably heard us talk about, where we're in there all day, every day, going through the motions with this and helping people find what works for them, seeing how other people help one another. We've run group coaching. We've done a lot of different things. And so while our backgrounds aren't necessarily trained in this, I think we've trained ourselves pretty well to at least answer a lot of questions about this.
Yes.
But also on top of that, I wanted to mention that I am about halfway through a sex and relationship coaching program through the Somatic Institute. It's a pretty intensive program lasting about 18 months. And actually, here in a couple of weeks, I'm going on a 5-day in-person intensive retreat. So there's been a lot of training that we've both done. And as we mentioned earlier, Emma's in grad school as well, and she'll be jumping into some of these Q&As to help out.
Yeah, and I'm in grad school to become a therapist as well. So same.
So excited.
Similar path.
I'm always like drooling and like, show me the book you're reading.
I know. I know. It's exciting. It's a lot of work, and also I love it.
Yeah.
So we're all, I think the point is we're all excited to bring a different flavor, different type of episode to the podcast. For me, I know even though I'll be making guest appearances here and there, I won't be on every episode, but I'm excited to interact with all of our listeners, all of you, in a different way than Finn and I have over the last 5 years, and to interact with you all with Miche too.
Yeah. Totally. I definitely want to share what I'm excited about, but Miche, what's got you jazzed up about this? And also, I won't say jazzed up again for a while.
All I see are jazz hands. I'm really excited just for the questions. Like, what's going on in people's heads? What are they thinking about? And, there's a little bit of a freedom when you're just like, here's a question, take it. Now you figure out, because it's been going on in my head for a while. So that's nice. Also, I think sometimes we can get stuck in our heads with E&M and the questions that we do have. So it's so nice to be able to be in community and toss those questions around and those thoughts and hear someone else's point of view, maybe even look at things differently than maybe I've seen them or you've seen them. And just because someone else is like, actually, this makes a lot of sense and I've just never seen it that way before. So,
yeah, I love that. I'm similarly, like, I'm excited to, in some ways, this is a great way to build community, because you hear somebody else's question out there in the world and you go, I've been wondering that question myself, and I thought I was the only one, or I was too afraid to ask it. And now it really helps normalize and just helps you realize that you're not the only one having these questions. So I think that's really great. And I'm also excited to get it out there for myself too, because we get a ton of these questions via email and we spend a lot of time answering them and responding to people. And for me, this is a way to get that knowledge, or at least our opinion, out to more people than just the one person that we're responding to. So I'm super excited to do these and to, as Emma said, to interact with our listeners and community in a different way, and to bring just a different flavor of support and resources. So I'm excited.
Also, you guys are amazing to talk to. So kudos to everybody who gets to hear this amazing conversation, because they're awesome.
Well, and you get to be part of the triad of awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I've always wanted to do a light thruple.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Thruple light.
Thruple light.
Triad of awesome.
Just fast forward 3 years, everyone's like, so how's your triad going? And we're like, well, we didn't think it was going to be a triad when we started, but here we are. Okay. Well, we'll answer those questions in 4 to 5 years. But until then, we would love for you to reach out. All of this to say, how do you reach out to us? How do you submit your questions? So on our website, normalizingnonmonogamy.com, there is a tab that says podcast. And if you hover over that or click on it, it'll drop down, and there is another one that says Ask Us Anything or Ask Us Anything episodes. You can click that. There'll be a list eventually of all of the episodes that we've recorded, plus a pretty clear way for you to send us a voicemail and let us know your question, and we will answer it.
There will also be a link in the podcast player show notes and your little I always call it a little podcast player.
Some of these people probably have the biggest podcast players you've ever seen.
Are you thinking of like those little MP3 players people used to carry around?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm thinking of. That's why I always say little.
Yeah, flip over your iPod shuffle, and it's engraved there on the back.
In your podcast player, there will also be links to go where you can send us a question.
And please start submitting them now. We'll be collecting them, and Misha and I will be jumping on and starting to answer them. And the first episode is coming out the 4th Friday in October. We did not look up what that date is, but you just have to count each Friday in October, and on the 4th one, that will be when you can expect to hear from us.
Yes.
All right.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Anything else, Misha, before we let you go?
No, I think that's October 27th.
All right, perfect.
Thank you for looking that up.
Helpful.
And if that's not accurate, remember count 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the one. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We are excited to do this, and we will see you next Wednesday for our regular episode, and we'll see you on October 27th-ish for the first Q&A.
Sounds good. See you then.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.